Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Coffee with Katie. I have my Fable Ground stoneware mug that is Lord of the Rings inspired. I see you with Broad-dur, I always struggle saying that, the eye, and little Frodo and Sam. I really love this one. Especially because the Lego set just came out that I really want, and I just saw Return of the King extended edition in theaters. It's been a moment for Lord of the Rings, let me tell you. I've also been rewatching Rings of Power in preparation for season 2. It's been a moment in my house. So today's video is the mid-year book freakout tag. I'm about halfway through June right now, but I don't have time to wait until June ends to film this because of traveling plans. So this is a tag that I love doing every year. It's really interesting to kind of like get caught up on your reading year a little bit and also look at things to come. It's also crazy that it's June already, but I do really like doing this tag. I do it every year. So let's just get into it. The first question is the best book you've read so far in 2024. I have 3 for this answer. It's a struggle because I have like very weird things when it comes to books. I have this like weird thing where I usually don't want to rate books 1 star, but I also don't usually want to rate books 5 stars. And it's this weird thing in my brain where I'm like, well, it's not the worst and it's not perfect, you know, I don't know. It's just, I have a weird thing in my brain about it. But there are some books that I just enjoyed so much and just like had such good feelings about whatever that I've given 5 stars. I would say Manacled for sure, which is a little bit kind of different because it's a fan fiction. It's not a, you know, published work, but it is amazing. It's amazing. It has put me in the worst reading slump because I was obsessed with it. It was very long. It was so good though. It was wild. It's like a hefty book. It's like 1,000 pages, PDF kind of situation. So it's long. It was very well done. I couldn't stop thinking about it. I still don't stop thinking about it. I still want to reread it. It was amazing. So that one. And also The Gentleman's Gambit by Evie Dunmore, because it was the last book in the League of Extraordinary Women series, which that series has been very near and dear to my heart. So it coming to an end and also having some themes that I related to, like all of her books, was a little bit emotional just because it's over. And seeing like that whole thing come to fruition and come to an end was really interesting. So it was a very like cathartic experience for me, even though I wasn't like kicking my feet and giggling kind of a situation. It was just like, it was good. And also Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia for Fairies. I really fell in love with that book. I gave it 5 stars. It was really, really good. The humor was amazing. The adventure, the danger, the fairies, because they were more like tricky and dangerous, was really fun. And kind of how they're usually portrayed in a lot of stories, and like a lot of myths, I guess. I really, really liked that. The characters, Wendell was amazing. Like the whole book kind of took me by surprise because I thought I would really like it, but I didn't really know what to expect. I also thought it would be kind of boring and slow, and it wasn't. And actually, I'll tack this on as well. A Lady's Guide to Scandal by Sophie Irwin. I fell in love with that book, gave it 5 stars. I just finished it, so a little bit of a spoiler, but it was so good. I really loved it, and I didn't expect to love it as much as I did. And I'm still kind of in my feels about it, and also kind of wanted to reread it immediately, which doesn't happen to me very often. It means I really, really loved the book. So that one as well, I guess. A few. Couldn't narrow it down to just one, I guess. Had to narrow it down to just one, it'd probably be Manacled, which is wild. Question 2 is the best sequel you've read so far in 2024. I was gonna say Emily Wilde's Map of the Other Lands, but now that I'm thinking about it, I think it would be A Lady's Guide to Scandal again, because that is a sequel, kind of. It's in the same series, but it's not the same characters, so we can say Emily Wilde's Map of the Other Lands for an actual sequel. I gave it 4.5 stars. Or we can say A Lady's Guide to Scandal by Sophie Irwin, since it's the second book in that series, even though it's totally different characters. Question 3 is a new release you haven't read yet, but want to. Always, so many, too many, all the time. I really want to read A Tempest of Tea by Hafsa Fazail, City of Stardust, Sanctuary of the Shadow, 5 Broken Blades. There's been plenty, and I've actually started 5 Broken Blades and I had to put it down situationally, so there's just so many that I still need to read, want to read. It's never ending, always. Question 4 is the most anticipated release for the second half of 2024. Definitely always multiples, but definitely Spectacular by Stephanie Garber. I am really excited to delve back into the world of Caraval, even if it's just a little novella and it's like more holiday-esque. I'm just so thrilled. Also, from my enjoyment on Throne of the Fallen, is that what it's called? Oh my gosh, I'm blanking. The Carrie Maniscalco book. I'm looking forward to Throne of Secrets to get another prince's perspective. I did enjoy that, even though it's not, I don't know, it's not amazing. It's not the most amazing thing I've ever read, but I am very much looking forward to it because I like getting all the different princes' perspectives, so I'm excited to get another one. Fury of the Gods by John Gwynne, of course, is another, so that I can finish that trilogy and wrap it up and see what happens and see if that cliffhanger in book 2 is real. If so, I might have words, but I need to find out what happens, and so does my husband, so. Ooh, another one is Beneath Cursed Stars by Lexi Ryan, because I really enjoyed These Hollow Vows duology, and I was excited that we're going back into this world, but that we're following the sister, so I'm excited about that one as well. And Apprentice to the Villain, because I loved Assistant to the Villain, and it's been a while since I've read it, so I'm looking forward to delving back into that world to see if it's darker, funnier, just kind of what we're going to be getting into in this adventure. Question 5 is biggest disappointment. Possibly Damsel by Elena K. Arnold. I hated that book. Or How to Become the Dark Lord and Die Trying by Django Wexler. I would say that one was way more disappointing because I just did a book review on this. I thought I was gonna love it and I hated it. And it was like really, it was so disappointing and like gut-wrenching how sad it was, how like, no, sad isn't the right word. It disappointed me because of how the woman was portrayed and how the character was written and how like sexually focused it was, and not in like a romance book kind of way. It just was weird, and that was demoralizing for me. I really hated it. So definitely that one. Biggest surprise of 2024. I would definitely say The Book of Doors by Gareth Brown. I picked it up on a whim because I was curious about it. It sounded interesting and I was curious. I had the opportunity to get it on Libby from my library and listen to it, and I was able to do it really quickly, and I actually really enjoyed it. I really loved it. It was really good. So it kind of surprised me how much I liked it. I thought it was gonna be one of those ones that I picked up because of the hype or because it was a new release and it was just gonna be like mid, but I really, really liked it. So I was very pleasantly surprised by that book. It was really good. And also The Devil of Dublin like hit me hard. I thought again that I might like it. I was worried I wasn't going to because I don't really read mafia romance books, but, and I guess it really wasn't necessarily a mafia romance book, but the themes in it were really heavy and I really liked the characters, and the author's note at the end like made me emotional because it was also kind of based on some of her family members' lives. I would say those two were really big surprises for me. And actually BB Easton just announced recently that she's doing The Devil Himself. So it's a sequel, but it's not the same characters. It's like different characters, which is really interesting because I didn't know that she was ever going to be writing in that world again. So I will be reading it. I don't think I'll like it as much. I just can't see that I would, but I am excited to get into that. And the new favorite author, I would say probably Heather Fawcett, who wrote Emily Wilde's. Like, her books have been amazing. I guess maybe Ali Hazelwood, because I've read so many of her books at this point and I've liked them all. But it feels weird to say that she's one of my new favorite authors. I mean, I liked them. It feels weird to me because it's not like I fell in love with all of them, even though I did like them and they were really funny. I think I like her because she's humorous and it's easy to read her books. But I liked Bride. I liked The Love Hypothesis. That was probably my least favorite. Love Theoretically was fine. I loved Love on the Brain. And then I am gonna read the little like short stories of the Women in STEM series, and she just came out with Not in Love, I think. But I haven't read the chess one, and I haven't read Not in Love. But I think she's kind of an author that I will probably read anything she writes eventually. So I guess that would consider her a new favorite author. I would also put Sophie Irwin on here because of A Lady's Guide to Scandal and A Lady's Guide to Fortune Hunting. I've really liked both of those books a lot. So I would say she's up there, and I'll probably read anything that she comes out with. And then question 8 is newest fictional crush. I guess Draco, because in Harry Potter, I felt bad for him, but I never really had a crush on him. But in the fanfics, Manacled, I do. So him, and Wendell from the Emily Wilde series. I really like Wendell. So I'd say them. Oh, and Melville, Max Melville from A Lady's Guide to Scandal. I liked him quite a bit. Not many currently. I feel like, you know, if it was last year, Liam from Fourth Wing, you know what I'm saying? Like, there were several from last year. This year, not so much, but there are a couple. Newest favorite character. Again, I think I would have to say Wendell from the Emily Wilde series. I really love him. He is funny and just hilarious, and he's got these little quirks that are cute and funny and just enjoyable. So I would say Wendell for sure. Question 10 is a book that made you cry. The Gentleman's Gambit, but that's because the topics that they delve into in that book are so hard and deep and personal to me. About being a woman, about the expectations that are put on you, about your worth if you aren't married or you don't want to have kids, and how much of that is attached to your body, how much of your worth as a woman is attached to your body. And anytime she writes her book, she writes about something deep and about women and about feminism. And each of those books in that series delves into like a different facet of it, and every time it hits me, and every time I don't expect it. So that one for sure. But I don't really like cry. I'm not like weeping. Like, I don't really do that. The most you'll get from me is tearing up. So that one, and then The Devil of Dublin because of the author's note. Question 11 is a book that made you happy. I'm gonna say the same books over and over. I'm so sorry. I really don't want to do that, but honestly, they're the ones that are coming to mind. Emily Wilde's books made me happy. Practice Makes Perfect by Sarah Adams. That one made me happy. It was very cute. And A Lady's Guide to Scandal also made me very happy. So sorry I'm repeating books. It's just the way it is. And then question 12 is your favorite book to movie adaptation you've seen so far this year. Can I say Return of the King? Because I just saw it in theaters even though it's been out. Probably that one. But Dune Part 2. I really enjoyed Dune Part 2 even though it got kind of weird, and I've never read the book. I know it's heresy, but I really enjoyed the Dune movies. I thought they were done really well. The Dune Part 1 and Part 2. I thought they were done really well. And I haven't seen the show yet. I just learned that A Good Girl's Guide to Murder is coming out, and it's going to be like a BBC TV show. That's wild and super fun. So I will absolutely watch that if I can. So I didn't know that was being turned into a show. I'm excited. We'll see how they adapt it. I feel like those are the only adaptations I've seen thus far. There's been more that have come out, like even last year, that I just haven't caught up with, so. Question 13 is favorite video you've made so far this year? This is always a weird question for me, but I don't know. Book reviews. I really enjoy making book reviews and watching book reviews. Those are kind of some of my favorite content to consume. So I really like making book review videos. So I would say any of those. I like them, whether they're ranty or gushing, because it's usually one of the two. I like doing those. Question 14 is most beautiful book you've bought this year. I would say probably, like most people that have gotten this book, Dark Star Burning, Ash Falls White. Like the cover in general is beautiful, but the Illumicrate editions of these, the edges are stunning. The end pages are beautiful. Not that that's the highlight, but then the naked hardcovers, like, are you kidding me? Like, they're just so pretty. So definitely this one for sure. And I think the first one was in my video from last year, so definitely that one. And I also really enjoyed the Fairlead edition of A Feather So Black because I love the color scheme and the way that this cover is done. It's very pretty, and then the edges are stunning. I think it's mostly the color combinations is really pretty. And then the naked hardcover is also really pretty and silvery, and I like the spine. So I would say probably those two most beautiful books I've gotten so far. And then the last question, question 15, is what books do you really need to read by the end of the year? Too many. I need to read my Buzzword Book Challenge books. So I just need to like see that challenge through. I'm behind on one of them. Like I started one in May that I haven't finished, but I'm planning on continuing it. So hopefully I can get it done by the end of the year, even if it wasn't exactly in the month it was supposed to be read. Other than that, I think I'm keeping up with it pretty well. So I need to finish that challenge, which it's been a lot easier because it's just been one book a month. And I picked ones I wanted to read. So I definitely need to finish that. And then there's some new releases that I would like to catch up on or just need to read, whether they've just come out, they came out a while ago, or they haven't come out yet. There's several new releases that I want to read, to do reviews of, to do whatever, but I'm also trying to read down my owned library. So I need to just pick things that I own to read them down or get rid of them so that I'm not taking up space that I don't need to be taking up. This is always the struggle, right? Like you want to read new releases, you want to read your owned TBR, you want to read so many things, and it's always a struggle. But I would say mostly the Buzzword Book Challenge, and then like maybe series that I own, like just catching up on some of that. That is everything, all of the questions for the mid-year book freakout tag. I hope you have enjoyed. I would love to know your answers to these questions if you want to leave them in the comments down below or just chat with me below. The first half of this reading year was really good, and then it started to go downhill, and then I was in a slump. But I am hopeful for the second half of the year to come through and to just be a really great reading year overall. Thank you so much for watching, but for now, that is it for today's video. Please like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you want to, and I will see you next time. Stay safe and caffeinated. Bye.